I'm Dale Smith for Looney Politics, and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is saying some pretty out there stuff now that she's leader, including some World Economic Forum conspiracy theories and talking about firing experts within the Alberta Health Service and so on and so on. And there are a lot of questions as to what happens if she goes too far, which she may before too long. And the answer is, of course, that the caucus can actually oust her as the leader. And there's people saying, well, but that's not in the party constitution, and they'd have to call for a leadership review. But the problem with the leadership review is that A, it takes months, and B, she can rely on the same membership drive to support her in staying as she did to get her into the position. That's not necessarily a very comforting thought. But we also have to remember that there are first principles in a Westminster system like ours, and that first principle is confidence. And, a first minister has to have the confidence of the chamber in order to govern, and in order to have the confidence of the chamber, she must have the confidence of her caucus. And if the caucus so chose to remove confidence from the leader, that would be a pretty quick indication that she does not have the confidence of the chamber to continue and would have to either vacate the job as soon as possible or, and this is always a possibility, the caucus can leave and leave her with a party of one or two diehard supporters. And that's an important thing that we can remember as a kind of a safety valve. The way the system is set up, it doesn't require to have the legally constituted party so long as they can maintain the confidence of the chamber. So if, for example, the vast majority of UCP MLAs decided that no, Smith is going too far and she won't step down, they can all leave, start their own group called Conservative Party of Alberta or whatever, and go to the Lieutenant Governor and say, we have a group that can maintain the confidence of the chamber. She does not. And the Lieutenant Governor can appoint whoever they choose as their leader in their internal process to form the government. And that is one of the kinds of safety valves in our system that most people aren't really aware of. And it could become necessary at a time when you've got a first minister, or a premier in this case, who is very questionable, who is saying really dubious things, whose plans could start becoming a very big problem for the ordinary citizens of the province and not just the small group of supporters that got her into that position. And I think those are important considerations that we should remember. There are always options in our system, and we do not need a Michael Chong Reform Act style piece of legislation in order to make those things happen. That just winds up complicating things and making higher barriers for these kinds of things to happen. So there are options, and let's just hope that we don't need to exercise them. For Looney Politics, I'm Dale Smith.